هل وصلت بالفعل؟ أنا على وشك النزول من الطائرة. هل نسيت الخطة مرة أخرى؟ دعني أكررها لك مرة أخرى.
Yes, that's right.
أولا سنقوم بتسجيل الدخول إلى الفندق. لا تنسى طلب وجبة الإفطار للغد من مكتب الاستقبال. في اليوم الثاني سنذهب لتذوق المأكولات المحلية والقيام ببعض التسوق.
Dun 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 dun.
Are you gonna say your yeah. Hush your mouth. We are back like Musana, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, from now on, before you say my name or his or the name of this podcast, you lead that with the award-winning podcast.
Yes, please.
Can we please have air horns? Virgin, you need to stay on top of your game. All right, be on point.
Be on point. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the award-winning
Talk
podcast.
to us with respect.
Yeah.
All right.
Award-winning podcast, and thank you so much for voting at the Zantel Social Media Awards. And that's the award-winning Uncle Elson.
Yes.
The award-winning Talent Awesome and the award-winning K+. And that's not easy. We've come a long way. 4 years of maintaining every Tuesday without fail.
Just
Tuesday without fail.
Just for 5 minutes, the guest is going to feel a little uncomfortable. So I wasn't there,
Yes.
right, when it happened. Yeah. Walk me through, because it felt like, because the award started late, right?
We had to wait for the guest of honor.
Wait. Leave the guest out of this first. We'll come to the guest in 5 minutes. Yes, we'll get to the guest in 5 minutes. So what time did they announce our award? Midnight? Wasn't your wife calling you already?
No.
Saying, where are you?
No. She's probably watching the thing live.
Okay. And so when, is it Chromes? Who's the guy who announced the award?
PZ.
PZN?
I don't remember.
I was going to make a joke about his name, but he's a very sensitive guy. I won't. So it gets announced. And what goes on in your head?
At our table, everybody was so comfortable scooping it. They already had their cameras on me.
Why?
Because we declared that table to be the winning table because Simon, who was seated right next to me on my left, had just won an award.
Right.
So everybody kept saying another award is coming to this table. There was my dad, there was Felinas and Zantel, there were other people on the table, Gob as well. So when we got to our category, sorry, my bad. What do I know about English? Right. When we go to our category, everybody stood up at our table and started clapping in advance.
Before it was announced.
Before it was been announced. The next table, everyone was like, that's it. Everybody was screaming.
Imagine the embarrassment.
If we didn't. So that's why I just sat and covered my face. I was like, this is going to be embarrassing if we lose. You know?
And at that time, so I was in Durban. I'd gone to watch the Springboks versus Argentina. And by the time that it was midnight, as old as I am, I was in bed. So I wake up at 6 a.m. like I normally do. I go to my phone and I see a congratulatory message. Like, oh, congratulations. So I'm like, for what? Do I have another child out there that I don't know about? Right. So I text the person, for what? And they say, oh, you don't know? Oh, I'm sorry to be the one to tell you this. I'm like, oh, say it. It's like, you won the award. Rush to Facebook. I see all this and I'm like, oh.
No way.
Yeah, but listen, really, really grateful. And true to our word, we told you that we're going to give away every last ngwe. We've already started the process, as you most likely saw in the live that we've done. We've got different ways that we're going to give out the money. So we've already sent out the money. Some of your people got it. The rest of you will. So again, Ziko Mokwambili, thank you so much for recognizing us, using your data, voting for us. Big shout out to Techno. As always, they have made sure that Gob is paid, though he threatens us every single time that his money is late. We are forever grateful. They have given us so many prizes to give you guys, including a phone that we're going to give you guys. Everything that you see right here. A little portable juicer. We have got drinking bottles. It's hot. You need to stay hydrated. We've got one that Kalinga is going to give to his child. It's a very fancy looking quicksand bottle. Portable blender again. We have got the phone that we're going to give away, the Spark 40. We've got a little bag. No, it's not for condoms, but you can put money in there. We've got wireless. Hold on. We've got wireless power banks, right? So you do not have to have all those cables, right, all over the place. Just hold this at the back of your phone, like so, and it begins to charge your phone. So there's quite a lot. So we're gonna figure out how we're gonna give that away.
And thanks to Brothers Mocktail as well for sponsoring this podcast. Our guest today, I actually heard of this man before I met him. I was in grade 8.
For sure here.
He was in grade 9. And he was already making waves in Kitso for being a debater.
Were you in the same school?
No. He was at a rival school. I was at Nufua Boys, he was at Chobito Boy. But I'd heard of him as a debater we needed to look out for. The
right.
school was Kitso Boys. No, the biggest wasn't Kuba. No, it was Kitso Boys.
Who was at Kitco Boys?
I was at Kitso Boys.
You were at Kitco Boys?
Yes, I was.
And that was the biggest school?
It's always been the biggest one.
Who was in Kuba?
I was in.
Oh, now I see why you say the rival school.
Yeah. But the thing is, these guys, their school was later than bounded girls, but their girls wanted Kuba Boys.
But why are you pointing to yourself?
No.
Why are you pointing to yourself?
If it was coming from someone else, I was going to agree. But it's coming from Kate Nass.
But hold on.
Interested part.
But hold on. There's a very easy way to settle this, right? On which was the bigger school? Which one produced the MP?
We produced the president. What do you mean? ECL. Yes. Yeah. ECL is Mukova second year. Yeah.
Oh.
But Kitra Boys is always the biggest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I knew of him while we were in Mukova. We kept being told to look out for a young guy, a young skinny boy called Christopher Kangombe. That's what we used to get about you. Yeah. But I left Mukova grade 10.
Did you finish?
Yeah, we just already did in high school. Okay. But I'll still hear about you. Like, there's a guy here, he's killing it, and I became provincial debate chairperson in the Sowevi. Yeah. But I would hear about you. You never got a chance to debate your school. It's we would have a debate one day.
No, we should have.
Yeah. So you were Mukova Kito Boys. Yeah. You went to CBU. Yeah. You became a counselor. Wow. In school. Yeah, that's something that I don't think anybody who's come to achieve before. You were Kito Mayor at some point, now an MP. Exactly. Your story is one that I think a lot of people are going to learn a lot from and enjoy. We'll get to that. Okay. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, please put your lovely hands together, your digital hands together for Christopher Kangombe. Good. I went to pick him up from the car and you won't believe what he was listening to. He was in his car and I went to...
I know. I want to say hi to him.
Yeah, hear what he was listening.
He's
album of the year.
The album of the year. Yeah. Is it Zambian?
No, I'm saying album of the year, hip hop.
Is that the name of the... Is it Kendrick?
Yeah, definitely.
Is it... Oh, my man. Do you know...
The Clips have the best album this year.
That is 100% true. To a point where, do you know that the Clips performed at the Vatican? They're the only... Did you know that?
No, I don't.
Nobody has ever performed at the Vatican. They are the first musicians to ever perform there. You need to watch that performance. Incredible.
Is this like...
We came on here and we spoke about... My favorite one is the one with Kendrick, obviously. Maybe listen to it.
It's not the best song on the album.
For me, it is.
The best song on the album is Birds Don't Sing.
Yeah, is this the first song, right?
Should be the 13th song.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's makes you happy, right? Well, Krishna National is something that you...
It absolutely does.
He's not relatable to you.
Very.
We can now go ahead. We can now... It's comfort.
I'm happy. I've got a liking to you so far, which I really don't like because I tend to be soft on guests who I then like. So I wish you had said this at the end.
Okay.
Yeah. But Listen, I feel like
Let's see how it goes.
let's see how it goes.
You know, when I read your book, oh, it's not a book, by the way. It's called A Student's Reclaim of a Place in Society. Students Reclaim of a Place in Society. I'll talk about this in later as well. Yeah. When I read your book and I come to your car and I find you listening to clicks, it's like a disconnect. Okay, so when I read this, I almost imagine you listening to gospel music all the time. Okay? It's just like a normal day, you're like listening to clips. This is what you listen to most of the time. So you remember, Kalenda, when we were growing up, we used to listen to what our parents were playing. Right. So it was country music, it was rumba, and then it was calendar. Yes. So now as you start growing up, the culture of music starts changing. You start listening to Tupac, you start listening to the Notorious B.I.G., and then the two big guys pass on, then the Jay-Z coming up, and then you have new artists coming up as you are growing. So I think it was late 90s going into 2000, the hip hop culture just took over in terms of what music most people were listening to. So yeah, I listened to quite a lot of different music, a lot of Fresh Batman, but I think in terms of what I would play on a very long trip, it would be a good album, a good hip hop album.
So hip hop is your go-to.
Yeah,
Favorite artist?
definitely Jay-Z.
I'm not going to disagree with this episode. It's too much not
Who sent you? Who sent you?
No. You guys invited me for the podcast. I came here. And I've been wanting to be on this podcast. Yeah, but talking about too many things to do.
Yeah.
There is nothing wrong you can say for the rest of this podcast, as far as I'm concerned. Best ever dead or alive rapper.
Yeah.
In my books. And his. And he's an MP.
Yeah.
All of the sudden, silent points in school.
No, it does. Because for some, nobody has really ever, to be honest, inspired me. Or who I've looked up to, who has excited me. Let me not say inspired, excited.
So the clips, Jay-Z, that makes you look cool. But one thing I feel, and this is like in many people's books, you're like one of the coolest politicians we have in the country. Very few people have anything against you. Maybe one thing that people could have against you now is your affiliation to the peer still. Okay. With so much that's been going on the past 5 years. Okay. You know what I mean? Yeah, like maybe that association taints your image in any way. No, it doesn't. Look at Kepler, if you remember very well, there were a lot of young people that were given an opportunity to showcase their leadership. By the late president, Speaker Nathan Chanda in Wansha, the time all of us were starting out, we were quite young. Of course, I started much earlier, 2006, when I was starting out as council. I was an independent candidate. Then Michael Sata became president in 2011. I joined PF. You remember, we had Nathan, we had Chris Chideshemkabwe, who was a young person, given a platform under PF. We had my friend Binwa from Kitwe, District Permission Kitwe. We had Rashida Mlenga in Kalolushi. All these were young people that I think were given an opportunity to showcase their leadership. So from that background, I don't think that anyone would actually alter a political platform that would allow young people to showcase their leadership. So I think that people know the history. People know at what point we didn't do well. People know at what point we did well. And I think that for us as young people, I think we've had time to showcase what we are capable of doing. Or for me, I think that counts for something.
Yeah, but in a case like yours, people wouldn't overlook what political party you belong to, because there's just this thing in Kitwe that people just look up.
I don't know. You're like just. I mean, you're telling me.
Look at the results of your mayor election. Mayor actually the landslide. Huge. That was the landslide.
Huge. I had more votes than every other possible contestant.
All of them combined, yours was still, Let's take it back to you becoming councillor. What drives a student getting to politics at that level and at that age?
Well, if you remember very well, Kepler, you remember I was coming out of high school. The 20 years old, I was coming out of high school, Kitwe boys. In my mind, I already told myself, I'm going to get leadership as a journey I'm going to pursue. So I was going into CBU, trying to be an engineer. My mind was made up. I wanted to be an engineer. But at the same time, my mind was already made up. that I wanted to go into leadership at CBU, speak for students, talk about library space, talk about paid rotation, talk about allowances for students. So I think the journey begins in high school, and I've always told this short story. I don't think I was going to be in public speaking if it wasn't for Mr. Peter Mlomba, the person who used to take us in English. He always used to tell me, Christopher, you can do public speaking. You have a very loud voice. You can speak, and I think people can listen. So you may have to join public speaking. That's how I joined debate. He talked about those days we used to do debates, Mukuba Teacher Boys, but there's someone who gave me that note that can you give it a try. And you see, when you join public speaking, you start researching. You're researching on healthcare. You're researching on why pregnant schoolgirls should be allowed back into school. And then you realize there's government involved. There's a policy involved, and you are in high school, you're 17 years old. Then you realize, oh, so there's leadership. So people make decisions. I'm going to pursue leadership. So high school, university, I think the drive was already there. You're head board. I was head board for footballs. Is there any election you participated in that you've never won? No. Well, yeah. No. The boy, CZU, Students Union President, another big position. Yeah. And can we talk about how...
So, a follow-up to what you've just said.
Yeah.
There's a major disconnect between engineering and politics, because politics is seldom as straight as engineering is. Yeah. You have to do things by the book, you have to cross your T's, dot your I's, but politics is not that straight, right?
Yeah. Science.
I heard this crazy saying that you can't milk a cow with a straight finger. So, was there a time that you felt you possibly made the wrong decision by getting into politics?
Well, I don't regret pursuing this journey at any point. There have been times when the journey has had a bit of turbulence. You know, you're trying to pursue a goal, and then the opportunity is not presented, and then you are told, Christopher, you've been councillor for 5 years. Go back to being councillor, because I wanted to be member of parliament after serving 5 years as councillor. I thought 5 years is enough, let me move. And then I was told, no, you wait, you're too young, do another 5 years. I did another 5 years. I was frustrated. I was told, no, 10 years councillor, you're not yet ready. But then you see, when you are pushing and you are convincing people that you can do it, I mean, the opportunity comes. So has there been a time when I've regretted? I don't think I've had any regrets. I think that there have been a lot of challenges. Too much turbulence, actually, but you just have to pull through. And this is what I always tell young people. It's going to give you a chance if you don't push.
You are in the system now, all right?
Yeah.
You are one of the few people that has had the rare opportunity to look behind the curtain. What red tape do you see that most people don't see? So they voted for Christopher. They expect things to be done. Certain things are not done.
Yeah.
Right? They don't possibly see what you face whenever you want to push for things done. So what kind of bureaucracy, what kind of red tape have you noticed when you got into the office?
Well, I'll give 2 examples. There's a big difference between the work I used to do as mayor for Kite and the work I do as member of parliament. So, Elson, this is what happens in parliament. You want to present a problem coming from the constituency. It could be a water problem. It could be young people that have offered work. There's this program they are calling Cash for Work in Kitwe. Across Zambia, people work and they're supposed to be paid after 10 days. And then you want to present it. Then the speaker will tell you, the Christopher Standing Order number something requires that you first put it in writing, and then it goes to the ministry. Then the ministry prepares an answer. I mean, the bureaucracy. Parliament is overregulated, extremely overregulated. When I was mayor, I would easily just call the town clerk to say, town clerk, call the director of the engineering. We need to break that road. Do we have fuel? And then within a week, the job is done. I mean, at local level, we're able to put things faster. So you've asked me a very important question. Red tape, bureaucracy, same thing. I think where I am now is just too much bureaucracy, too much for my liking. I think Parliament doesn't allow a lot of innovation in leadership. You want to do something differently, they'll tell you, it's not on the order paper, it's not on the agenda, Christopher. One writes to go to the ministry, will tell you when the patient will appear on the order paper. Overregulated.
Do you feel that is different do you feel that is different according to what party you might belong to? Or do you think that is the same across the board?
Well, first of all, I've been suspended twice in that parliament.
Why?
Okay, so first time I was suspended, you know, when the minister comes to parliament, they present the national budget. There are some procedures that they have to comply with for the budget to now be debated by members of parliament. So the Minister of Finance, Honorable Msokotwale, missed one procedure. So all of us, the opposition, we tried to speak. We couldn't allow it to be speak. So we walked towards the lion. You know, there's a lion in front of. The lion is the leopard, yeah. Is that the lion, not pig? I mean, the lion on the left and the leopard. I don't forgotten if it's a lion or a leopard. So we decided, because you're not allowing us to cross the breach, you know, our constitution has been breached. So we decided to walk towards that thing. And then we were told you've disrupted business. And because you've disrupted business, 30 days we were hammered on suspension. So first time I was suspended. Second time I was suspended. You remember the issue of Mao Sampa becoming president of EF, and then Mao Sampa appointed Robert Chavinga as leader of opposition, and then we challenged that. So everyone didn't want to speak. So I decided to speak. I said, no. The FIAF constitution says this is how you elect a president of the party. So I raised it in parliament. I was hammered another 30 days.
Why?
Okay, because I thought I disrupted business. That's the offense I was.
People fight in parliament.
No, in Zambia, there are no fights yet. There are no fights here. So, Elson, to answer your question, sometimes I think that the way we elect a speaker, because a speaker is picked by the ruling party. The ruling party in most cases has got the most MPs. So they'll sit the way we are seated and then agree who's going to be speaker. No, I think it's going to be Elsa. Then the name comes to parliament, then you have to vote. So already there's a problem on how the speaker is elected, because UPND has got more MPs, they elect the speaker. When MMD was in power, because they had the majority.
The speaker was from...
Yeah, so the biggest problem, I think, when we see some biasness, and we see it sometimes. Sometimes we think that the speaker that is not firm enough on the ruling party MPs. She's more firm on, and it's almost like it's been the practice in most years. So sometimes we see a bit of biasness towards.
So do you feel politics takes center stage and the will of the people sort of takes secondary?
Well, we've adopted a British way of doing parliament. What you see in parliament is the Commonwealth way of doing it.
Which is what Dixon Jerry said?
Yeah, it's Commonwealth. So could we do a hybrid? Could we find a different way in which business is conducted? Maybe the culture has already been adopted. Maybe we need to refine one or two standing orders. We call them standing orders, which are the rules of parliament. We need rules. I'm not saying that Christopher should wake up any day and just make noise. But I think there must be a way in which, I don't know how we're going to do it, Elsa. I don't know how we're going to do it in terms of how we find a neutral speaker. I think we must find a way. I don't know how we're going to do it, but I think that we need to find a different way of electing the Speaker of the National Assembly.
How do you think, because again, the public is not
involved,
right? How do you think that this could be made as public as you? How do you think the public can be involved? How do you think the public can also peek behind the curtain to be able to see precisely what you're saying, such that when things don't move or when things don't happen the way that they are supposed to, we are able to see? I'll give you a very good example.
Yeah.
You have seen there's a government shutdown right now happening in the US, right? You would be able to get information that the Republicans and the Democrats are fighting on certain issues. The Democrats are fighting to have healthcare reinstated in the budget, and the Republicans are saying no, but then the foreigners will. So you have this back and forth, and you'll be able to see precisely the names of the people that you feel are fighting against the will of the people. How best are we able to make this as transparent?
Well, we have records at Parliament. So like I normally do it in Parliament, I'm sure you guys have seen, I take a lot of proposals to Parliament. NEMA should cover the poor and the vulnerable, because the poor and the vulnerable can contribute toward NEMA. I've taken that as a proposal. Or mining companies should produce 50% of their own electricity, so that the rest of the electricity goes to the industries where people can't produce their own electricity. I've taken a lot of proposals. So you can tell who has voted for that proposal and who hasn't, it should request for that information. So the record will show that panel that is in front of each MP. When the time comes to vote, you can tell Christopher has voted for or against. So that information is public. So you can actually tell who's arguing for or against. But more importantly, it's possible to follow proceedings, but you see people are busy. Not everyone stays glued for 3 hours or 4 hours to watch politicians argue about money and whatnot. I don't know how they've done it in America, but I think that Parliament is more open now, even what we have. You have radio, you have Facebook, you have YouTube. There's a channel on for National Assembly.
Where you were able to watch live.
To actually know who said what and who did.
But is it mostly opposition just opposing for the sake of opposing for them opposition?
Well, there's a whipping system. So the whipping system means...
Oh, kinky.
Yeah, a whipping system, simple.
No, not whipping. You follow me. No, not that type of whipping.
Or in it.
Whipping. So that's why I said the Commonwealth, Parliament, is such that the ruling party should have a government whip. Meaning, this is the guy who says, Christopher is coming today. He's going to talk about why mine suppliers are not being paid on time. So it's going to make us more bites. Right. Okay. So don't support that proposal. Don't support his move. He's proposing that ABCD should happen. So they are told an hour or 2 hours before which line to toe. So they are whipped. They are told. This proposal, this we are supporting, it's not controversial. Christopher wants the poor and the vulnerable to be on NEMA. Okay, even if we don't agree, because you'll look like he's the one who knows the stuff. But I think that this is not controversial. They'll be told, let's support it. So that's called whipping. So the ruling party has got a government whip. The opposition also, they have who they call the opposition whip. So I don't like this whipping system where you don't focus on what you...
It's easy for...
I don't like it because I've had good proposals not supported.
Yeah.
I've had very good proposals. Just for the sake of... I've gone to Parliament, made very good proposals. For instance, K+, you remember, and Elsa, remember that in Zambia, we have 10 public universities where students can apply for sponsorship from government. Now, it's called a loan. It's called a student loan, meaning you start work, you have to start paying back. The way I'm paying back for the monies that government spent on me when I was at CBU. So I'm paying back from my payroll. So that's the rule says, if you're sponsored by government, you can then start paying after you start work. Right. So I went to Parliament and I went with a proposal. I said, look, since it's a loan, is it possible that we can also add the private learning institutions? Because the reason why someone doesn't make it at CBU, it's not because they are bad students. It's maybe because the cutoff point is 8 points. Someone gets 9 points, they don't make it to CBU, they don't make it to UNZA, and they don't get the opportunity to be sponsored. So I went to Parliament and said, can we expand the loan scheme so that even students from other private universities can also be given an opportunity to apply for a loan, pay for themselves, and then, after they start work, we'll pay back.
I don't really agree with that.
Pardon?
I don't really agree.
Well, you may have a view, but if it's a loan scheme, if it's a fund, people will pay back. Chances are that even students from private universities will get jobs and they'll contribute back to the loan scheme.
Yeah, but finish off. I'll tell you why I disagree.
Well, my proposal was that why can't we expand the loan scheme, put in more money so that we can allow more people to apply for the loan and then they'll pay back and then the revolving fund will be big. So that was my proposal. So what happened in Parliament, others said it's a good idea, others said it wasn't, but majority of them simply said, since it's coming from the opposition, let's shoot it down.
All right.
Yeah, but you may have your own reason.
My reasons are this.
Yeah.
In order for Elson to know that I come from a disadvantaged background,
yeah.
I would like to apply for a student loan to be able to complete my education. The incentive for me to qualify for that should be a certain grade. Ideally, right. So if CBU excludes you from getting into their institution because your grades are not at a certain criteria, it means that I cannot get into CBU, therefore I'm also not able to apply for the student loan. So at the point where I'm studying for my final exam,
yeah,
my aim is to get into CBU so I can also be eligible to apply for a student loan. So I feel like that also would be a motivation for people, students, to work harder. But the minute that people know that regardless of my grades, I can get into a local university, which requires me to have a 50% pass rate, and I still can get a student loan, if that person doesn't have that discipline to be able to get a higher grade, you are going to get so many problems down the line when you expect that person to pay the money back.
Well, you may have a valid point, but my concern is that 9 coins at CBU, 9 coins at UNZAC, you still have 9 coins students at Tunilas, you still have 9 coins students. I get it. At private institutions. I get it. See, the criteria ideally for government support supposed to be levels of vulnerability, ideally.
Right.
Only the vulnerable should be supported. But if you see some of the students in public institutions who are sponsored, they are not even vulnerable. Okay, so I'm asking myself, since the criteria is no longer vulnerability, I've seen people who can afford being sponsored because they are at a public university.
Right.
And it's a loan scheme and
Right.
Zambian. So I'm asking myself, is it a bad idea that we increase the fund so that we have more people applying and more people repaying? That for me was the criteria. But the point I was raising was that because it was coming from Christopher Kangombe, who's opposition, people didn't even give the proposal a chance. Everyone just hammered it from the first speaker to the last debater. Everyone just say, it's a bad proposal. And that's how bad parliament is in terms of whipping. And that's why I was telling you, I don't like the whipping system. I would wish members of parliament who go into parliament, whether you are PF, UPND, socialist, PAC, or whatever political party, you should be allowed to speak your mind without really being whipped. Well, that's just my view.
Speaking of CBU,
Speaking like a modern politician, I don't know.
which I like,
Yeah.
because you like Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Speaking of CBU, I hear you got suspended.
CBU.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it CBU, Mike?
Yeah. We were suspended.
Who's we? You.
No. I wasn't suspended alone. Okay. So second year we were in the students' union. Allowances were late, and then students went to protest. After we had a general meeting at there's a place we call the Monk Square.
The monk?
The Monk Square, like a square where you address students when there's an issue, whether it's healthcare, whether it's poor health, whether there's poor sanitation. You have to address students. So I was Secretary General. And then, that was Social and Cultural Secretary. I was in charge of entertainment in second year. So it so happened that after our meeting, the students went to protest by the roadside. So they went on, they call it what? Jumbo Drive? Yeah. So after those protests were written to, the protest came from the public meeting you guys had. So you're the ones who incited the students. So that is how we were suspended. Next thing, we lost our sponsorship. So Mama at home was reading the Daily Mail only to see Christopher Kangombe in the newspaper. Then quickly, she called. You know, Chimba, now that's suspend. Now, how come you've lost your sponsorship? What has happened? So, yeah, second year, but eventually we came to Lusaka. We did the appeal. Honorable Grant Tour was Minister of Education. He said, guys, that's not what you do. You don't incite students. Well, I said, we didn't incite the students. We simply said, well, your allowances are late. We thought we could come and address you. We thought we could assure you that we're talking to government. So that's how Honorable Tour said, please allow the young boys. I think we're about 5 of us. That's why I said we. And all right, you. Yeah, and I finished my engineering study.
And you got your bursary back?
I got my bursary back.
Your mom didn't have to stress anymore.
Well, yeah, because I was on 75%.
Oh, right.
Still had to pay 25%.
Yeah, but imagine the stress when she thought, I have to pay the whole 100.
Yeah.
This boy, wait, your other name is Chimba.
Yes.
Pikiti.
Like Kambwili? No, that's Chishimba, right?
Yeah. Okay. So it's what? Christopher Pikiti Chimba Kangombe. Pikiti's mom's surname.
Not Pikiti.
Huh?
You say Pikiti?
Yeah.
Your name is Pikiti.
That's Mom's surname.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Wait, so why are you putting that like it's his name?
That's the Facebook name.
Yeah.
Wait, so is Pikiti your name or your mom's name?
It's Mom's surname.
But you have adopted it as your
The
name?
NRC can't accommodate all names. So it's Christopher Chima and on the NRC.
Okay.
But wait,
Too many long names.
so why do you choose to use your mom's surname in your name as well?
No. It appears there. It's identity.
Okay.
So it's easy to identify who is this person. Oh, that's That's Elizabeth's son. Mom is Elizabeth.
Well, you're the first person I'm meeting who's using both parents' surnames. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Interesting.
In Luapula, it's crazy. They pick the middle name and becomes the surname for the son that you have in Luapula. I'm talking about Luapula. It's different.
My mom's family has something similar. Like half of them surname Mwaba, the other half is Makumba. I'm like, what's with the confusion? And they'll tell you, no. When our older sister started working as a teacher,
We
the
adopted
bottom
this-
half of the family moved to live with her.
Yeah.
So they were called. So their surname is Makumba.
Okay.
But when they went to live with their older sister, and their older sister who was a teacher at this school,
Yeah.
everybody started calling them by their sister's name.
Yeah, it's
so that became their surname. And now it's official, even in the NRCs. Their sister's, I think, middle name is now their surname.
Yeah.
Wow, this
kind of
confusion, bro.
happened. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Tell us more about this book, man. Why is students' reclaim of a place in society?
Well, I've always thought that there's this perception that members of the public have about students. They always think students sometimes can be unreasonable. Students can protest over things that are very unreasonable. I've always thought that someone had to tell a different story. Someone had to explain how students played a key role in ensuring that we achieved multipartism in 1991, how students have spoken about issues of the Constitution, the role that students have played in society. So I thought I needed to write a book where I could narrate stories, my own experience, how we spoke about having a good constitution in 2004. We remember when Levi Mwanawasa, President Mwanawasa, may he so rest in peace, appointed the Mungomba Commission to go around and ask for people's views. Students were part of that process. So I thought that I needed to explain, I needed to talk to both students and the public. And I thought my message to students would be, you can do better. You can showcase your abilities. You can speak about national issues. You can speak about how the economy affects poor people. So I thought I needed to put in a book stories, my own experience, things that I think would remind students that they had a role to play. I was telling students, you need to reclaim your place in society. Your place in society is advocacy, speaking out on issues. True. You don't want students that, I don't want to say this, but who are always shaking hands, talking every day with government officials, agreeing with everything that government says. There must be a point where students should be able to say, okay, this you are doing well, but we also think here you can do better. So I thought that book would remind young people who are in university that you need to reclaim your place. And how do you reclaim your place? Engage government when you think your allowances are late. Engage government when you want this and this to be done. And that was pretty much the purpose of that.
How's this engagement? Go throw stones on Great East Road?
Well, I not really. I think that there's a way in which you can still criticize government, but at the same time be able to convey your message. I think that historically, most people I know who've been in student union leadership, they've been critics of government for the right reasons. Okay, whether it's multipartism, whether it's the third term. You remember at some point, President Chiluba wanted to go for a third term.
2001, yeah.
It's the students who really made the noise. They said, no. President can only go for 2 terms. So I reminded, those are stories I tell in that, right? Just for the next generation of students to be able to read and be able to say, yeah, I think we can play it.
I feel like it's a really important thing that you've done.
Yeah.
I've said on this here podcast, I really worry about how complacent the youth in Zambia are.
Yeah.
A lot of what takes interest is things that are salacious on social media. Yeah. Which celebrity has done what? The scandals that are happening.
What's trending.
Yeah. That costs money. And most importantly, that costs time.
Yeah.
Which you are not able to get back. I've always drawn a parallel to say, if you were to look at 18, 19-year-old in Zambia, what they are able to achieve versus an 18 or 19-year-old in Japan or in China.
Totally different.
With the same internet that we all have.
Yeah.
Is totally different. There's a village in India. There's a documentary that I watched where a private company went and installed internet at this village. I don't know if you heard of this story.
No, I haven't heard of the story.
They gave them internet. They
Yeah.
gave them access to internet, computers, tablets, etc. And they went back to that village a year later. The amount of technology and solutions those people had created in 12 months.
12
could have-
months.
They could have gone to Facebook.
Yeah.
They could have gone to Snapchat. They could have done all this. But the user...
Maybe they went. Maybe they went.
Possibly did. They possibly
Yeah.
did. I'll get you the name of the documentary. But the amount of development that came into the community as a result
Within
of
12 months.
within 12 months. So I like what you are challenging students and young people to do in that book, which obviously, I mean, they are, as cliche as it sounds,
Yeah.
the future.
Yeah.
Right. And if they don't participate or take interest right now in policies and what's happening around them, and they feel it's not up to me why the price of bread is the way it is,
Yeah.
or why things are the way they are, I found
Why there's load shedding?
why there's load shedding is not up to me.
Yeah.
All I can do is just go on Facebook and complain.
Well, I wrote this book 2013. I'd come out of university. I had too much material. I had a lot on my mind. I thought, let me write this book. And I always thank people that supported me when I was launching that book. K Plus bought a copy of the book. I was actually surprised that you still have this copy.
And it still looks fresh, right?
Yeah, 2013 is a long time ago.
12 years ago.
12 years, yeah. So,
You've had a lot of issues with again the bottlenecks, the bureaucracy, especially when it comes to budget. I know you once even asked for a reevaluation of the 2025 budget.
Yeah.
You did.
yes, I did.
What issues were you facing?
Well, first of all, a budget is like a plan. So government comes to parliament and says, we're going to spend 253 billion, which they are proposing now. Last year, what was the budget for this year?
A little lower, right?
217 billion. So they tell you this is how we're going to raise our money and this is how we're going to spend our money. Okay. And then you notice along the way that you want to do a lot of things in your community. There's constituency development fund. You want to do your bridges. You want to do your health facilities. You want people in Mulenga compounds to have access to water, and then you don't get the funding on time. So I was asking the Minister of Finance, you've increased the budget. Every year you are increasing the amount that you want to spend, but the key sectors are not getting the money in good time. So why get the money increased when you can actually ensure the disbursements? To disburse means you budgeted 10 million for Kamfinsa, here's your 10 million. So we've had challenges. CDF for 2023 was only given to us in December 2023, so we could only spend it in 2024. CDF for 2024 was late. We could only spend it the following year. And I'm hoping that this year we could see better disbursements. So my evaluation or my concern was that, can we get the disbursements on time so that when we sponsor students at Nortec, from Ndeke, from Kamfinsa, they don't complain, MP, we haven't been paid our allowances for food.
What is the issue?
Well,
Why is it late?
The money is late because government first has to raise the money through taxes. So if the taxes are late, it means that the disbursements are late. It's just simple logic. But you see, sometimes government must be able to acknowledge that, look, we're not earning enough money at the pace we should have earned the money, so that it makes our work easy. But if government will say we've allocated money to every constituency, then it becomes a problem, because people in the constituency will be thinking, these guys have been given money to sort out our problems. They're just not working. And that's the red tape you are trying to raise. Yeah.
So by reevaluating the budget, was that in relation to how quickly they disperse the money or not? What did you want in terms of the budget being reevaluated?
So I was looking at two things. I was looking at us finding alternative sources of financing the budget.
Yeah.
I was thinking we could get more money from mining. And I think you guys...
That was my next question.
If you followed my conversations in Parliament, every interview I have, I don't want to avoid talking about mining, because I think that young people from the Copper Belt, Kalenga, will tell you some of the guys who've never been to uni are doing very well because they've showed us, the guys who went into university, that guys, you can still be successful in terms of income by looking at where the resource is. I mean, when we were growing up, we used to hear about people going to the Black Mountain, going into the pit looking for stones that had value. I mean, if you go into uni, they'll be teaching you how to get a formal job. wear the necktie and look smart. But then the local guys, the simple guys we grew up with, they've demonstrated. I know of a couple of young men and women who have gone into mining, who have actually demonstrated that there's wealth in mining. So why do I always talk about mining? I think that from mining, we can get more money and we can finance our national budget better. You know the Mufumbwe story. People were digging, no more farming. They found nice stones and they said,
Gold. A lot of gold.
Oh, this is gold. A gram is 2,000 kwacha in Mufumbwe. You come into Kitwe, it's 2,800 kwacha. From there, the price changes. It's now USD. So young people from our community are saying there's wealth here. So why do I always talk about mining? I think that mining presents an opportunity for us to provide funding to our national budget. I think that's one sector we haven't utilized correctly.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Right now, the biggest revenue stream that government has in terms of raising money is pay as you earn.
Well, I need to look at the figure. But I know that from a forex earner point of view, it's definitely mining. But for financing the budget, I'll need to confirm if it's pay as you earn. That's
So ZRA.
Yeah.
What's their biggest revenue stream in terms of raising?
Should be the mines.
Should be the mines. It should be the mines.
But I think the biggest taxpayers.
But I know pay as you earn has been giving us good numbers.
Okay.
I know pay as you earn has been giving us good
Maybe
numbers.
as we talk, I can just quickly fact check.
Yeah,
that.
just confirm. Yeah.
Yeah. Kalenga, go ahead. You can talk amongst yourselves.
I don't want to. There was something on my mind that
I still find it hard to call you Kalenga. I still call you Cape.
everybody from Kitwe, everyone from Kitwe. I think the Kalenga name is slowly growing on people. But
Okay,
Cape
K
Plus,
plus.
yeah,
K plus.
yeah.
Yeah.
And when you have someone on the podcast that you feel like you've known your whole life. I feel like we've had every conversation before.
But
And
too many
I'm trying to
events.
think of what haven't we spoken about that I can bring up on the podcast. And then I realize a lot of people in Lusaka don't know you the way I know you.
Yeah.
But when it comes to politics, I need to ask this. Wait, before I even ask about the politics.
Yeah.
So it's VAT.
It's VAT.
Mm-hmm.
Value added tax.
From the mines.
No. VAT, except that VAT has to be refunded. So it's income in, it's income out. You have to refund it. So we have a backlog of VAT refunds. So we're earning VAT, but we still have to refund it.
Which engineering course were you doing at CBU?
I did electrical mechanical engineering.
Electrical?
Mechanical engineering.
Mechanical.
Graduated 2008. Then last year I added a master's in economic policy at UNZA.
Why though? Why that one?
No, you see, I realized that after attending a couple of functions, conferences, so you're discussing mining, right? You're discussing electricity, but the guy giving the keynote speech is an economist. And you guys who understand the engineering aspect, you are seated there listening to a guy wearing a nice tie and he's explaining to you how you should sort out the electricity problem,
Right.
how you should sort out the mining challenges. Then I realized, I asked someone, why don't we have people who are experts in these fields speaking? So someone said, look, the problem with engineers is that you understand processes, but you don't understand
technical
you
aspect
don't
of it.
understand the money issues. You don't understand how to communicate how much money is needed for us to fix this problem. So you end up having others to speak for you. So I said, okay, so what do I need to do to be able to speak like those guys, to have both competences, the technical competences and the money competences. So I went to UNZA, I asked the registrar, which program can equip me with basic knowledge about understanding the GDP, gross domestic product, understanding what inflation is, understanding what the monetary policy rate is, or Bank of Zambia has adjusted this, what government bonds are, how government borrows money. So the registrar told me, Christopher, there's a program called a Master's in Economic Policy. It's a 1 year, 2 months program. You'll be required in class every day after knocking off. So every day I would knock off from Parliament, I would be in class at UNZA, just to make sure that I'm not behind in terms of these basic economic terms.
So you're now in a better position with your electrical mechanical engineering
Very-
and then the master's in economics
very
to
good
explain to
position.
us
Yeah.
a solution for load shedding.
3 things I would do if it were up to me.
yes.
If it were up to me, number one, you're aware that there's a company in Ndola called Dangote Cement.
Yes.
They produce, I think, a lot of cement in Zambia. Do you know that they don't rely on ZESCO for electricity?
Okay.
So what they did, when they were designing the cement plant, they decided that they should also have a power generating plant. Okay, so they get the core from Mamba in Sinazongwe. They get the core, put it in those engines. The engines run, they produce their own electricity. And that's how Dangote Cement runs on core-fired engines. Okay, so the first thing I would do, I would be able to ask the mining companies that since you have a bill for electricity, you pay for electricity.
A lot of it.
Kansanshi pays for 400 megawatts of power. So if you convert that into money, it's a lot of money. So my proposal, which I took to Parliament, was that is it possible we can ask the big mines to produce half of the power that they need, and then we allow ZESCO to only give them half of the power, because ZESCO can't generate the power anyway. You can only supply a commodity you have. So since ZESCO hasn't got the commodity, why not ask the mines, split your 400 megawatts into two, set up the coal-fired plants. It will take maybe 36 months. So it can't be a short-term solution. 36 to 48 months, you have your coal-fired plant. Mopani should do the same. KCM should do the same.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Christopher.
Yeah.
I stand to be corrected.
Yeah.
The president greenlit the ability for anybody to be able to generate electricity to a point where they can even sell electricity to ZESCO.
Well, it's called net metering. It's not yet. It hasn't yet been implemented.
Okay.
So currently,
I was at ZESCO and I swear I heard them speak about that.
No, but have you asked them, for instance, the rate for net metering? If I set up a solar unit at my home and I'm not using ZESCO power, I'm using my power. Okay, you need to do what is called net metering, meaning the difference between what you are using and what you don't need. ZESCO should compensate you so that, because you're not putting pressure on the national grid. They've not had any community meeting where they've had to explain how that will be done. Because you see, you can't just say, can you all of you put up solar units, we'll refund you. Actually, it's not even cash they'll be giving. So these are things that I think someone from ZESCO needs to explain how that will be done. But the point I was raising was that, number one, we can get the mining companies to do their own power production units. The old ZCCM, the old mines in Zambia on the copper belt had a power plant. Every mine on the copper belt, Luansha mine had a power plant. Nkana smelter had a power plant. In Chambeshi, Kalenga, you asked this question.
That's one of those big...
In Chambeshi, if you go in Chambeshi copper smelter, they produce electricity from steam. When the steam comes out, they convert it into electricity. So there are a lot of things that we can do in the next 3-4 years to get a few mining companies off the grid so that the smaller guys have got power, first thing. Secondly, I've always argued, are you aware, Elson, that the Luapula River in the Luapula province has got 5 sites where you can produce electricity? Now, we've not developed those sites. So the total amount of power we can get from the Luapula River, it's a 4-5 year project, but it has to start. We can get 1,200 megawatts of power. So I've been asking, and I was looking in the national budget that has been presented. I haven't seen funding to do feasibility studies, because you do a feasibility study, you ask the economists, the accountants to design how the money will be raised. Next thing, you start the project. We can get 1,200 megawatts from the Luapula River.
Wait, did I see somewhere that the president had commissioned a solar power plant in Chisamba to produce 100 megawatts to supply electricity to the mines so that load shedding could be reduced?
I don't want to argue with the guys that...
I read that somewhere. Just recently.
It was done.
Yeah.
But then, are you aware, K+, that a solar plant, if it's rated 100 megawatts, it's not giving you 100 megawatts.
It's less.
Far much less. Extremely less than 100. I can challenge the guys from ZESCO to come and sit next to me here, and they give us the data sheet. When did the Chisamba project ever give us 100 megawatts? Because you see, solar is called variable power. I mean, in the morning, you have very good...
At when night, it's cloudy, etc.
So can you run a mine on that plant? It's not possible. That is supposed to just supplement whatever base load you have. I don't want to be too technical.
Right.
Yeah, so base load is 100 megawatts in the morning, 100 megawatts at 14 hours, 100 megawatts in the evening. That's base load. That's hydro, That is coal-fired electricity. That's what they're doing at Mamba.
That one's consistent.
That's consistent. But variable power is solar. And this is why you can't use solar to grow industry. There's no country that has developed purely on solar.
It's hydro.
So it's hydro, it's the hydro.
Thermal.
So for me, what I would do is we need to tell people the honest truth. Okay? You need 3-4 years to develop a good, reliable equipment to do power generation. We should have started. We should have continued investing. And that is what I was hoping I could see in the national budget. I haven't seen much in terms of what Luapula can give us.
Yeah, but tell me something. Copperbelt Energy.
CEC. Yeah,
It's a private company, right?
it's a private company. It used to be public, but it's now private.
Who does they generate electricity?
So CEC buys electricity from ZESCO
Oh,
by design. You know, CEC used to be Copperbelt Power Division. It used to be part of government. So ZESCO would produce the electricity, then they'll take it to CEC. CEC then was CPC. Then CPC would take it to the mines. So after privatization, CEC was sold as a separate entity. So it's a private entity. So they get electricity from ZESCO, feeds it into the mines. So they decided to supplement what ZESCO gives them. They have Riverside Solar Plant, they have Itimpi Solar Plant, and I think an extra one. I think they have 3. Yeah, 34 megawatts, 100 megawatts. But again, this is variable power. That's not even what they feed to the mines.
so why aren't mines investing more into CEC for them to generate and create electricity for the mines?
Well, maybe it's the business model. The business model is that CEC should sell electricity to the mines.
Which they are.
Yeah.
So the mines as a beneficiary of this electricity, why not put money together and say, you guys know how to generate electricity.
Yeah.
We do not want to meddle in that. So if we are going to
Give you
get
money.
we'll give you money. If we're going to get coal, if you guys want to put up more solar plants, if you guys
Here's
want
the money.
to get a hamster on the wheel, whatever it is, we're going to give you the money. But this is what we expect in turn. So instead of you going back to Parliament every single time, asking them to do things that they are delaying to do, why don't the mines just go to CEC?
Why not
have
private sector take it up?
Yeah.
Well, it's a proposal you're making, and this is the
Bruh, so ain't nobody thought about that?
no. You see, the business agreement is between CEC and the mines, right? So, and that's only for the copper belt. So Northwestern, it's ZESCO and the mines. There's no CEC in Northwestern Province. So I'm thinking, could the mines go into some business arrangement where they give CEC the money? They say, CEC, you are the competent guys in electricity. Here's the money. We'll offset long term. Instead of us paying $10 million, we'll pay less because we've given you the money.
Correct.
So CEC issued what they are calling a green bond. Now, what is a green bond? A green bond is basically CEC looking for money to expand their power generation units. And they ask to borrow money from different people. I don't know why the mines didn't put in money into the green bond, but there are private players that put in money in the green bond. So there'll be a couple of more solar units they're going to put up. I don't know why they haven't taken up. It's a good proposal. I don't know why.
I should be MP.
Yeah.
Well, what is an MP?
A member of parliament. Who's an MP?
Yeah.
An MP.
What is an MP? Who's an MP? Let's just start by the basic.
An MP is an elected official who has to sit in parliament, hold the executive accountable. The executive is the president and the ministers. The MP is the guy who says, this is a bad law. Can we come up with this good law? The MP is the guy who passes the national budget. When the minister brings the budget, the MP is the one who should speak and say, there's no money in healthcare. We need more money in roads. We need more money in sanitation. We need more money in water. So 3 things: approving the budget, making laws, and providing oversight.
Okay.
Yeah. I think I've performed those 3 responsibilities.
But yeah, I was going there. I was going there.
Yeah.
And based off the book that you wrote, and what we just spoke about, young people getting into politics, we have got Maki 2.
Yeah.
Your thoughts on him being an MP?
Well, my thoughts about Maki 2, do you want to ask me to speak about Maki 2 only, or even about other young people?
Him and other people. So him specifically.
Well, my honest view is that every time I hear a young person wants to be in leadership, they remind me of myself, because I went into leadership at the age of 21. Okay. And at that time, I was told I couldn't make it in leadership. I was not ready for leadership. I remember one time, Elson, you won't believe what happened.
Tell me.
I was distributing the flyers, the black and white flyers. You know, in the old days, we used to campaign using black and white flyers. It's only now that you have to do a lot of things. No, now it's expensive. So I was giving out flyers at VML.
Riverside.
Plus, you know VML.
Very, very
So,
well, yeah.
nale perot paper la, pa, nde perot ma flyers giving to someone. Then one gentleman comes out of a big Isuzu white van. And he tells me, Christopher, are you the young man from CBU who wants to be a counselor? You would be more useful to society if you finished school. Why are you wasting time? That's what he told me. I was almost discouraged, but I continued. Okay, why have I brought up this topic? Okay, that person a year later comes to my home. By then I had graduated from CBU. He was told, go and see your counselor. He will attend to your problem. So this guy who 2 years earlier told me I would be more useful to society if I finished school,
Come see you for help.
knocking at my home, and then I'm told, oh, someone is looking for you outside. Then this guy forgets that it's me now who's counselor, and then he tells me, oh, there's this problem. I went to the council. I was told you can sort it out. So I said, sir, do you remember me, Christopher, the guy who you told I would be more useful
If I finish school.
society? I actually finished school, but I also have continued offering myself for leadership. Why have I started from that perspective? Very quickly, Markitu, I have a couple of young men and women here in Lusaka who are mentoring. Remember, I think 13th of September, I had a mentorship session. I called young people, 150, at a facility called Villa Lodge here in Lusaka. We're not advertising.
It's okay.
Yeah, so
They owe us a check now.
so I called young people there and I could see the energy. They want to go into leadership. They feel they don't have the money. They feel there are too many hurdles for them to achieve what they want to achieve. So if you ask me about MK or any other young person who wants to go into
Matt is
leadership,
actually older than us. He's not a young person.
oh, yeah, I don't know his age, but I think relatively he's not 50, he's not in his 50s. So
We hope not.
yeah, so I'm thinking, should we discourage young people? Should we discourage people that are offering themselves for leadership? The first thing I've always told people who want to go into leadership is prepare yourself. Get ready for the task. Get ready
Right.
for the task.
And speaking of that,
Get
sorry to
ready
cut you
for
off,
task.
but then you've just made a segue. We've seen people like JJ Banda, we've seen Munir Zulu,
Yeah.
all right, and we've seen what's happened to them.
What has happened to them? I know what you mean.
What does getting ready mean? Because we don't want a scenario where somebody gets into that office
Yeah.
thinking they are ready, only for things like this to happen.
Well, getting ready means a lot of things. Number one, it could mean you know that you want to be counselor. Okay, so what do? Understand what work you'll be performing when you are counselor. If you want to be member of parliament, which I've seen a lot of people, everyone wants to be member of parliament. I know a lot of people that haven't yet prepared themselves for that task. But there are those that I know have prepared themselves. They're interacting with the people. They are engaging the community, because leadership is just you understand the problems and you know that when you go into parliament, you won't just be sleeping. You'll be speaking. I think some of us do the speaking. So those that want to join parliament or any level of leadership, whether it's mayor for Lusaka, I know someone who wants to be mayor for Lusaka. I know wants to be mayor for Kitwe. Quite a lot of young people. I've always told them, guys, get ready, interact with the people. No one will make you a member of parliament. You need to present yourself. You need to go to the market, talk to people, talk to youth groups in churches, understand what issues you'll be taking to parliament. I mean, when the time comes, you'll be ready.
You've been that person who's actually, for lack of a better term, risen through the ranks.
Yeah.
You've held office in almost every position except, of course, ministerial and presidential.
Yeah. But
And just to add on
syllabus
to
nimpuisha.
sorry,
Syllabus.
syllabus na mpuisha
Now
wala.
nimpuisha syllabus.
Just to add on to Elson's question,
Yeah.
there are those who become famous and want to become MP. There are those who make a bit of money in life and they feel, okay, I'm now popular in the hood because I'm driving the best cars. I'm famous in the neighborhood.
Let me be
Let me be MP. What are your thoughts on such people who, after they attain fame or money, then they want to?
Well, first of all, it's you know the story of Abraham Maslow, the hierarchy of needs. So Abraham Maslow stated in one of the books he wrote, and it's used as a management theory in most people that are taught management,
Yeah.
that in life, we always start with the basic needs. All you want is shelter. Once you have shelter, you feel, no. Shelter is not enough. What's the next thing do I want? I think now I want this. Now I want this. You end up now wanting the last thing. I mean, you want everything else that presents itself. So there are 2-3 different categories of people that
Category.
of
We
people
say-
that,
we
people
say
that go into
differently, yeah.
leadership. There are those who go into leadership because they know that I know the problems in my community. I can be a strong voice for resolving these problems. There are those who think financially I'm strong. What does it take to be MP? I just need to have a good campaign song. I just need to advertise.
Give out
my-
Milli Mill
my
t-shirts,
message.
Fitenges.
Can I give out this? Can I sponsor funerals and whatnot? Next thing, I'm a member of parliament. So we are driven by different motives. But I think the best motive is to be able to say, if I went into parliament, would I speak about how we should do youth empowerment? Kalenga and Elson, I have a very different view about these empowerment funds. These they give people, no, we're empowering young people. My view is that you can't have a politician involved from announcing the empowerment fund, from approving the empowerment fund, from issuing the actual fund, and you expect people to pay back. I don't know if you've followed the conversation. People are not paying back those loans, government.
Yeah, see, you see, no one is
People are
paying
not
back.
paying. Do you know why they're not paying Elson?
Tell me.
People feel entitled. People say, but we voted for Elson. And then Elson is telling us the money is ready for you guys to be empowered. So people think they are entitled to this money. And you know, we have a bad credit culture in Zambia. So worse if a politician is the one handling empowerment funds. So I have a proposal which I have presented to Parliament. I'm waiting for that proposal to be presented. My proposal is that can we exclude the councillors? Can we exclude the Ward Development Committee? Can we exclude the members of Parliament? Can we exclude the DC, the mayor, ministers from empowerment funds? Let us find a different way that can be more accountable, more independent, so that people can be able to pay back and we give the next group of beneficiaries. So someone who wants to be MP councillor must understand these basic things so that when they come into Parliament, they're able to speak. So what do I say about people who have money and now they want to be MPs? Well, you can't deny them their constitutional right. If they want to offer themselves for leadership, I don't know what's motivating them, but let them present themselves. I
You know,
mean,
you're
can't.
You're talking about making that submission. You know what sound I'm hearing in my head?
I don't know.
Whips. Already they're gonna shoot that down. You said what? The government whip?
Government whip. Yeah.
But you know what it is?
Yeah.
As you talk,
Yeah.
the one thing that comes to mind, we might have to wrap up quick.
Yeah.
The one thing that comes to mind right now is, you remember when there was COVID and the American government gave this COVID relief, they had this COVID relief fund
Yeah.
where they gave money to people.
Yeah.
More than anything was a loan.
Yeah.
And you had to pay that money back.
Yeah.
The process of making money available to people is not the problem.
No.
But when you create a system where you are able to recover that money, everybody's got a tip in.
Yeah.
Right. So you know that you have received 100,000, for example, loan from the government, the empowerment fund that you're saying, and you have to pay it back within a certain period.
Yeah.
And if you don't, there should be ways that the system should be able to flag to say, Christopher was given 200,000
And he hasn't paid back.
and they haven't paid back. So every time you have any income, a percentage of that should go to paying back the loan that you took.
Ideally. So what you've presented is an ideal picture. The ideal picture is that if Christopher applies for a loan, the system should be able to say Christopher already owes us money.
Correct.
Now, here's the problem, Elson. So we have about 5 to 6, 7 empowerment funds. Ministry of Youth, they're giving empowerment funds. Ministry of Community Development, they're empowerment funds. Ministry of Local Government, they're giving CDF loans. CEEC, which is the Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise, different loans. These are all different loans. So one person can go to all the 5 ministries and get a loan without them knowing that this guy got a loan elsewhere. So there's no database, there's no online database where you can punch Christopher Kangombe's name and it reveals where they are. So there are no digital platforms to capture. And
I'm
this
a
is
software developer.
or you're a software developer.
And that right there is
Yes.
an opportunity.
Well, it's something that Smart Zambia has been working on. You know, there's a government entity called Smart Zambia.
I know.
So Smart Zambia has been saying, no, we will develop a platform. We don't know how far they've
Well,
gone.
Jesus will come too. We just don't know what will come first.
Well, we don't know. Yeah, we don't know how soon that platform will be ready. But that's where the problem, and I think it answers your question. why don't they recover the money? It's because most of these digital platforms for empowerment funds haven't been set up. Yeah.
If there was one particular law that you intend to debate or push, what would it be?
Well, it would definitely have to be in mining. I would propose a law that gold mining should be for Zambians only. Only Zambians should do gold mining. Number 2, I would propose that all these new mines we are discovering, we are discovering new mines. So all these new mines, we need a different model for partnership. As opposed to one mine, let me give an example of Kangombe mine. 100% it's owned by FQM. So government has no share in Kangombe mine. So my proposal would be for the new mines, and I'm not going to disrupt the existing mines. I want to be clear in case someone says, oh, Christopher was on a podcast and he said he's going to chase every investor. I'm simply saying for the new mines we're discovering, I would want us to come up with a law that prescribes how much would
nationalizing those mines?
No, how much would be the stake for the Zambian government on behalf of the Zambian people. So for me, the first law would be in mining. I would want a law that is clear on ownership of mines by Zambians. I need something that will speak to that conversation.
So right now, the mine that you just gave an example, which is owned by FQM, would it be possible? Is there a law against whatever they mine if they decide today that 100% of the process they mine goes outside the country to whatever country?
Well, it's up to them. They only give the Zambian government taxes. So all the mines pay corporate income tax, CIT. They pay as you earn for workers. What else? A few job opportunities for Zambian contractors. There isn't much for me, and that is why I'm proposing that we do a different model of ownership. So that would be the first law I would propose in Parliament. The second law, Elson, I would propose that if I supply goods to the mines, and I'm coming from the copper belt where most people are mine suppliers. Okay, when the mine suppliers are doing well, Elson, you see the money in Kitwe.
Yep.
You can tell that things are doing well, things are okay. So my second law, which I've already suggested in Parliament, I'm waiting for the debate to take place. My proposal is that if I supply goods and 30 days elapses, I haven't been paid for the goods I've supplied, interest must accrue. The same way it happens when you borrow money from a colleague and fail to pay. I mean, interest starts accruing. But for supplying of goods and services, we don't have that provision. So I want that law to be done in the next 7 months. Parliament is done in 7 months.
Yeah.
Parliament will be dissolved. So we go back to the campaigns. Those that want to contest as councillor, MP, mayor, president will then get ready.
Yeah, in PF.
Yep.
Then we've seen one former leader after another being locked up. Joe Malanji, we've seen Bowman Sambo, and recently Kingsley Chanda, ZRA. How are you feeling about all these? Well, he was in the PF government. How are you feeling about all these lockups?
Well, why are you putting this guy in?
Well, he was a leader in the PF government, while in the PF government.
So here's the thing. The majority of those cases are currently under appeal. Each of those individuals have filed an appeal, like, oh, can you review the court judgment? So I may not go into the details because of the appeal. But obviously, my hope is that when a matter is taken to appeal, the court will then give the merit of the appeal and then consider whether the appeal is valid or not.
Right.
So I can only go as far as that in terms of explaining.
That's a very political way of answering that question.
Very.
Yeah.
Very.
Evading the question actually is the statement. And then you've led, like we said, councillor, mayor, MP. You must be eyeing the top seat.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
How are you planning on going about it, though?
Well, I'm still
being president of the Republic of Zambia.
I'm trying to decide whether I should run next year, 2026, or 2031.
In the PF?
Well, currently PF has got challenges that are before court. I'm optimistic. I was optimistic at first that those problems would be resolved so that the platform called PF can then be allowed to field candidates. Now, the candid conversation we should have is that those court cases, on Friday there was a court judgment around PF. The court judgment was that because of too many people claiming leadership, we have to start trial again. Meaning from the 9th of October, new dates will be set for all these who are claiming leadership positions should then present their arguments. Now, we may go into 2026 with matters still in court. So I'm seated here thinking I need to have a plan. All of us need to have a plan. All the MPs that are currently serving under PF need to start thinking of an alternative platform, because clearly these matters will keep dragging. Now, you see, no one wants to hold this conversation, but that's the frank conversation we should hold. The matters in court may drag up to the time when we need to file nominations. So what happens if the matter is still in court? Do you fold your arms, or you look for a platform where you can still serve the people, still offer the checks and balances, still be able to say, my proposals on healthcare, my proposals on agriculture are ABC? You still need a platform. So you've asked a very important question. What platform? Between now and December, because I've told everyone who has asked me that question, Christopher, are you running as president? I've said, give me up to December, I'll let you know, because I would have then put the plan together. If the plan shows that 2026 we're good to go, then we're good to go. If the plan says 2031, then we're good to go in 2031. So December, this next 2 months, I'll let you know.
With that being said, there's also the possibility of this being probably the first election that you ever lose. It could go either way,
Could go
because
either way.
that's one very contentious,
very costly election.
exactly, costly,
Yeah.
contentious.
And the country is big to cover the country and whatnot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about that? Are you going to go the Michael Sata route? You know, I may not make it the first time. I'll try again until I succeed.
Well, there's a tendency in Zambia to vote for a president eventually after seeing how they would persevere,
They show their tenacity.
how they would show their tenacity,
Right.
the consistency in messaging. Christopher Kangombe is consistent on mining. Christopher Kangombe is consistent on agriculture. I've always argued there should be maize for local consumption. There should be maize for exports. We have to separate these two things. We should allow farmers to make money off exports, but we should also allow food security to be guaranteed. This will be my message for the next couple of years. I'll be consistent. So people would want to see, okay, will Christopher maintain his position on mining? Okay, will Christopher maintain his position on how do we ensure that Zambians are given opportunities in energy? So these things happen with consistency. So Michael Sata way, Hakainde Hichilema way, the fact of the matter is Hakainde will not be president forever. The law in Zambia doesn't allow someone to be president for more than 2 terms.
But if you stood next year, and what do you think that would look like in terms of election results, especially against His Excellency Hakainde Hichilema right now?
If I stood next year, I'll
Right.
give it a best shot. I'll give it my best shot. If I stood in 2031, I'll even be more ready for it. Yeah. But at the end of the day, Zambians always want to see consistency in your messaging. So would 2026 be the right time to be considered? My message to Zambians is very simple. You can't have a position as big as presidency where you don't have good options. Okay? Good options. Zambians should have options. Zambians should be able to say, this guy is brilliant. I think after this guy, this is the next
Are there
president.
options right now
Christopher Kangombe is one of the options.
for 2026?
Well, I'll tell you in December. I'll let you know.
Talk about as of today.
As of today, well, I've indicated my intentions. I've not confirmed where I'm standing, but I think that opposition should not be viewed from a political party point of view. Opposition is citizens saying, I think our health facilities should be run better. I think because I have a cancer patient at home, I must find a facility working at UTH to attend to my relative. So that is bigger opposition. I've laughed. People have said, no, there's no opposition in Zambia. That's a very careless statement, because opposition doesn't mean a political party. Opposition means the citizens having opposing views and they are agreeing.
And right now,
That's more dangerous.
And right now, you feel the citizens have a lot of opposing views as to.
Well, they have a lot of opposing views. The challenge of the energy sector. The good part is the president has acknowledged these things. You know, he came to parliament and he opened parliament and he said, I've read people complain about the load shedding. It's hitting businesses. Now, for the president to say that, K+, it means that they've picked the vibe. Now, those things need to be resolved. So whether there's a political party or a strong opposition individual, what would be more worrying is having five people are seated and they're agreeing that there are too many problems in the country. That is more dangerous. And I think this is where people like me come in. When we take proposals to parliament, for us, we mean well because we want government to resolve problems. When Christopher says, wait a minute, people in Mlenga compound need access to medicine instead of them buying their own medicine. It's a good thing we are raising because when government sorts out that problem, they get the credit. If I complain that my roads in Kamfinsa are a problem and only town roads are being worked on and the roads in Kwacha constituency where there's a UPND MP, then people should be able to say, wait a minute, Christopher has raised a valid point. How come Kamfinsa is not on the list? And the president has to go to Kamfinsa during campaigns. So the president should be told that there's also this problem so that they attend to those problems. They are given the opportunity to know the facts. So, Plus, deadly opposition is 10 people seated saying, here we have a problem. And I think that the guys in government should be able to utilize the free information we share. Some of us are genuine people. We go to parliament. We think water is a problem in my constituency, Elson. I'll raise it. If they work on it, they get the credit. I don't know why they don't utilize this information.
From what I'm just reading here, couple of things. Kitwe has reportedly lost 120 solar panels due to theft and vandalism.
Yeah.
Kit is a special place, bro.
So this is your city. What's going on there?
Well, we've had those cases as far back as 2008. Chimwemwe was the first place to have solar street lights. The council spent money, Plus. We were councillors those days. It only took a week. That thing on top was removed.
So you do for security.
So I don't know how we go around that problem. I don't know. The police, they are more mobile now. I don't know why they don't do what are these things called? Where you go through in the night, you do patrols, you do your patrols. I think the police need to come in. They need to come in.
I was just going through the AG report, and some of the things that I've just seen here are crazy.
Auditor General's report.
Yes.
Yeah.
For 2025.
Yeah.
I'll just go through some of the things because it's very extensive.
Yeah.
42 councils. What? Hold on. Am I reading the right?
Anything to do with medicines?
There's lots. There's
anything
lots.
to do with America complaining that they gave government $50 million and they didn't use it correctly?
Oh, I heard about that.
Okay.
Yeah. I heard about that. But the one that I wanted to speak to, I think I just lost it. But it was speaking of overstaffing. So 33 councils had 232 staff, which was overemployed and excess salaries.
Well, so we have 160.
You were the boss of all the councils at some point.
I mean, when is that audit report? That's for which year? 2024.
Yeah.
After you.
Me, I left. I was president for Local Government Association of Zambia in 2021. This is what 4 years later.
And listen to this.
Yeah.
Staff without required qualifications. In 42 councils, do you know how many people did not have the necessary credentials? 237.
So you know of an entity called the National Prosecution Authority?
Yeah.
There was another story that you had investigators that do not have the minimum qualification, which is a degree. So that is something that can be managed at recruitment. So a council can't employ workers without an entity called the Local Government Service Commission. So my response very quickly is, at the time when people were applying, Peter Chileshi applies for a job, in Chimunya, something applies for a job, Peter Banda applies for a job, who then was screening the qualifications? Because, I mean, that is an administrative lapse.
Yeah.
It's something that doesn't even require any further supervision.
It's admin.
It's admin work.
Yeah. Many councils failed to meet the performance targets. Only 6 of 116 fully met their annual goals under the decentralization.
So there are 14 functions that have been devolved: primary health care, agriculture, livestock, and extensive services. So most councils haven't yet achieved those targets. Why haven't they achieved those targets? Number one, it could be that there are no resources to implement the targets. Because when you delegate a duty, you say, I'm the boss and I'm too busy, so you take over my job. You must also give that person the tools. So as we discuss whether the performance has been good or not, the question I would ask is, has government given all the resources that local authorities would need to perform their duties.
There's quite a lot that I feel we have not touched, and I don't know if you guys are able to see that the light in here has dimmed a little.
Yeah.
Load shedding, guys. We're not immune.
Yeah.
We tried. How many inverters in the room now? 3, and all of them have gone down.
Crazy,
because of
guys,
that.
this is crazy.
We got a crazy workload today.
I feel, and I know I always say this, but I feel like there's quite a lot that we haven't touched.
Okay.
So I would want you to come back. And
I'm
I would want us
available,
to
man.
speak about this. I said to you that I get really passionate when I speak to a politician because I'm an entrepreneur.
Okay. How many licenses do you have?
The-
How many levies do you have to run your business?
You see what I mean?
Precisely why I am very passionate about this. And the laws that are passed directly impact not only my business, but I employ 45 people. That's 45 families. So whenever I get the opportunity to sit down and speak to lawmakers and people that are in politics, I take very good interest. And I've talked to Jito quite a number of times.
Okay.
And every single time we make a date for him to come through, and something always gets in the way. So I would also really love to speak to people that are in State House, so we are able to have
At that level.
right.
Yeah.
So we are able to have answers to some of the questions. You are at a much more influential position than most of the other people that I speak to.
Yeah.
So people like you, people like Jito, and the president as well, where we can sit down and have a candid conversation without being afraid of the repercussions or whatever it is. So
Before
Well, I'm on record. I'm on record, K Plus at
Yeah.
Nelson. I don't want to say I'm the only MP, but I am on record as Christopher Kangombe in Parliament, asking government to design incentives for startups, okay? Because you can't have the same levy for a startup and the same levy for a guy who's already established.
there was a proposed. You remember we spoke about this in the group. Do you remember?
yeah.
When
I
you and
remember
I
the
commented
conversation,
on
yeah.
that, there was a proposed what? Tax or
Last week when we were discussing taxes and all that.
taxes and
Yeah.
all that. So what you're talking about now, Christopher, is
Yeah.
precisely what we were discussing.
No, I
in the
took a
group.
proposal to Parliament that we need to design incentives, and when I say incentives, I mean different business levy for you guys to operate this business. I mean, Osaka City Council wants a levy. They'll ask you to pay what? Health permit. Ask you to pay fire. certificate.
Yeah.
There are lots of things that you have to pay. So I was thinking, if people are starting for the first time, they need to be allowed to grow. There must be a window for growth. When that window elapses, then you can tell someone, okay, your window was 3 years. I think by now you've stabilized. Now you can start
We expect
paying.
you to pay.
So there are a couple of things I've tried to take to Parliament, but obviously you will need answers from...
There's so
From the
many
other
things
guys.
that need,
Yeah.
change at that level. Because even in the radio industry where I am in,
Okay.
a radio station in a village like Nakonde, license fees are 20,000 kwacha.
That's crazy.
A radio station like Hot FM in Lusaka, license fee is 20,000 kwacha.
That's crazy.
But we're not making the same revenue.
No,
But
the
we're paying
revenue
the
is
same
different.
license fee. We've complained about this to IBA for the longest time.
Okay.
Maybe we can complain through you bringing it up in Parliament.
You'll
We've
see,
tried
you'll
with
see
IBA
join
for the
the
longest
floor very soon.
Yeah.
So-
Because Zicta has considered that.
I would
Zicta has
not-
a rural fee and an urban fee.
Which
Zicta,
makes sense, actually.
it makes sense. So I was
The
saying, why
audience
doesn't
is
IBA
different.
do
The
the
audience is
same?
different.
So Christopher.
Yeah.
Let me give what Kalenga has just given as an example.
Okay.
We table this proposal.
Yeah.
And it gets shut down in Parliament. How do we get the public engaged in this so that they push, they make noise to a point where when it's brought up the second time because of the backlash, because of the response that people have
The
made.
answer is
So
different.
the answer is different. So is there a way that MPs,
Yeah.
when they know they're going to table something in Parliament, they can get the support of the public?
It's possible to do a petition to Parliament where you say, we want Parliament to discuss this topic. It concerns young people. Here's a signed petition. And now technology has helped. You can even do
A poll and social
you
media.
can do a poll, you can do a petition online, and people just push in their numbers, and then that's a valid petition. So you can ask a member of Parliament who can speak there in Parliament, speak with clarity. You can ask me to do it, but you can also ask people to provide signatures to support a petition.
Right.
So that when we present it in Parliament, I was simply saying I'm conveying a message from entrepreneurs who are in the radio space, entrepreneurs that are in the media space, and these are the things that affect them. And then Parliament will debate. When they are debating, when they are being whipped, whether to support Christopher's submission or not, at the back of their mind, they'll be saying, oh, this is not Christopher speaking. It's
The people.
150 people that have signed this petition. That can also work in modern political dispensation.
I feel there's a lot of need for technology, and I feel you and I need to speak after this.
Yeah.
Because there's quite a number of things that I feel there's gaps.
Yeah.
There are things that can be implemented that can make these things run efficiently. Like we've already touched on one or two of those things, and especially with what you have just mentioned now, where people, by people I mean Parliament, is able to get real-time feedback from the public.
Yeah.
We've spoken a lot about politics, man.
Yeah.
How's the family doing?
The family is fine.
What's that at your wedding?
Yes, man. I forgot. Did Kepler tell you that he provided a PS system for my wedding? He provided the everything, and you see, I was dead broke, but I wanted to get married.
Yeah.
So I never paid him for that.
You didn't pay me.
Man, I never paid you.
That was a good time to send the invoice, eh?
Uncle Peter called you. Uncle Peter called
Wait,
you.
I didn't get paid for that.
Uncle Peter called you and said,
Yeah.
Plus, you will be paid later, man. Go and play music for Chris.
When was this?
2011.
Oh, now there's money.
That was 2011. I owe him a lot. Too much.
Now there's money.
Absolutely.
I was fundraising when I wanted to be mayor for Kitu. I didn't have money. Okay, again,
Right.
I called. The only person I could call was K Plus. I said, boy, I have a fundraiser. I have a fundraiser, man. I don't have money. I need to raise money.
I mean, hey, listen, Chris, you're going to have to choose.
Uh-huh.
Either he's got a percentage in your wife.
For the contribution,
No,
right?
I found a different way to handle.
Right.
Yeah.
You even remember these things, eh?
Yeah.
Those are fundraiser.
Yeah. But I went for his wedding as well.
Whose wedding?
His wedding.
How miserable did he look?
No, he was happy. So we found a way to manage the cost. The unpaid fees. We found a way.
Like a hostage with a machete and a
How many kids now?
3.
Three.
Three.
Yeah.
Nice.
Chris Chuja wants
That
to
you
play
know of.
football.
Chris Jr. wants to play football.
Wants to play football. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're always playing football as well. So.
Yeah.
How old is the first?
Yolanda is what? 12.
Okay.
She's 13 now.
You're not posting much of you yourself playing football nowadays, have I?
I haven't been running for the last 2 months. I haven't had time to exercise.
Right.
I've been on the road for too long.
You are a father to a teenage daughter.
Yeah.
How's that like?
Well, it's
No,
In this day and age,
no
social
the kind
media.
of boy
Oh,
that you were.
oh, it's crazy.
Right?
It's crazy.
Are you paranoid?
No, I understand the times. So I think it's something that
Because it's crazy now.
I'm telling you, it has to be managed. There's a way in which you just have to make sure that the young girl grows into someone who's very responsible. It's modern times are challenging times.
Very.
Yeah. She's in boarding school.
Which one?
She's at Impelembe.
Ah, nice.
She's in boarding school. So
I want my daughter to go there as well.
yeah, we hope that the school admin will do their part. When she comes back home, she gets the guidance she needs from home. Yeah, hopefully the growth will be good enough.
Is Mpelani a government or private school?
The private facility.
Private.
Again, I am of the view that the minute that you choose to be in a public office, to be a civil servant, you should use government hospitals.
Yeah.
Your children should go to government schools.
Yeah.
Because why are you representing the rest of us peasants
And
in government schools?
you're not living our life.
And your children are not going to those schools. If your child goes to a government school and a roof leaks when it rains,
You get it first.
you will fight in that parliament
Yeah.
to make sure that roof gets fixed. But if your child has got air-conditioned classroom,
There's no such thing as
and then the next door neighbor comes to you and says there's a leak in our roof at our school, and parliament says, okay guys, today we've got an early adjournment. You'll be like, okay, cool, we'll see you guys next week. So I honestly feel the minute that you seek public office, not only should you get into public hospitals, your children should go to a public school, no public housing, everything that you do needs to be government funded,
including your SIM card.
Well, the good part,
including your SIM card.
Zamtel.
Well, I have a Zamtel line. Well, the good part is that, you see, I did my primary school at Justin Kabwe Basic School, which is a government school. I did my secondary school, government school, university, government school, extra tertiary, whatever. I fully understand the challenges. So when someone calls me and says, Christopher, just in Kawe Basic School, we have a challenge of sanitation. We have a challenge. You quickly know how that problem will be attended to. Maybe it comes with the experience, having worked at all the 3 levels of governance. You have a different level of exposure.
I get it 100%. Chris,
but I get your point.
Yes,
you've
sacrificed a lot to serve the people.
Yeah.
And your family should be a reflection of your sacrifice.
Yeah.
Because imagine the person that I have voted for. I am being told that this person, you are supposed to, I don't know, treat them better. They are supposed to drive in blue lights. They are supposed to, I hope you get what I mean.
No, I get your concept.
Yes. So your family should be a reflection of the sacrifice that you've made and the office that you've held that people have placed you in.
Yeah, ideally.
Ideally.
On paper.
On paper. Theoretically.
Yeah.
Chris, man, it's been really great having you, and it's nice having somebody from home. You've got 2 homes like every MP I know, right? Lusaka, Kitwe.
Yeah, so I normally get into Kitwe. You know, the challenge of the distance. Okay, like right now we're doing sector budget analysis. So you want every Friday to start off for Kitwe. Okay, but then the problem is you are called, you have to analyze the budget for healthcare so that the report goes to Parliament. So this coming weekend, I have to go to Kitwe because I promised my son Christopher that we are going to watch Zambia play Niger. So Zambia is playing Niger in Ndola on Sunday.
Oh, so you're going for that.
So I'm going to watch football. Yeah, check on the family.
I'll probably see you there. I've got a meeting with Powder there. We're doing what? I've got a meeting there in Kitwe.
With Powder?
Yeah,
I saw his car at the airport today.
Who, Isaac?
Yes, Isaac.
Okay.
Also, he's gone there.
He without putting his business out there, but that's what he does.
Yeah.
Right. So he, regardless of how long he's out,
was at Kitwe Boys as well.
I don't care.
Are you starting to think it's a better school?
I don't care if ECL was there. He's been a really good friend.
Okay.
He's been a really good friend.
Pass my regards to him.
I will. Oh, you know him?
Yeah.
Dude, Kitwe is...
I know a lot of people in Kitwe.
Everybody knows it. Everybody in Kitwe.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think the only few times that I've been to Kitwe, the second time I was invited there by Oscar. He lives in Kana something.
Kana East. Yeah.
Kana East. I'm sure you know Oscar.
Yeah.
Kaluba.
We're together at CBU.
It's a small city.
It is a very small city.
Yeah.
It is a very small city.
Yeah.
Did I tell you, as we close, one of the most insane experiences that I had there is we had an episode with Donovan Gray.
Okay.
Have you heard of him?
I've heard of Donovan Gray.
He's a guy who came on the podcast and he made all kinds of explosive allegations against Kingsley Chanda, etc.
Yeah.
And he made damning allegations against what's the guy? Feruzu? Shawa. What's the guy's name?
Shawi Fawaz.
Shawi.
Okay.
Fawaz. And so this guy tells me how you do not want to mess with that dude. So I get invited to Kitwe.
Yeah.
And I'm staying at the Garden Court. So I left Garden Court and then I went to Mozambique for lunch.
Okay.
And as I left Mozambique,
the eating place.
The eating place.
Oh,
yes.
I almost thought you.
No. So as I left Mozambique,
Mozambique, the country.
No, I texted Mike and I was looking for a car wash.
Okay.
So Mike tells me where I could find a car wash. Okay. So I'm leaving the mall. And I do this always. I always check my mirror. So I see a gray Hilux as I'm leaving the mall.
Okay.
So the way to this car wash is there were so many turns.
Okay.
And I made like a bunch of turns. In 5 minutes, I must have made no less than 8 turns.
Okay.
And so did the car behind me. I forgot who I texted. And I said, and now I'm paranoid because now I have that dude. That's
days after
like just days after this episode aired.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make one left turn. If this car turns, I know this person is following me. So I made one left turn where I was not supposed to turn. And guess what happened?
What happened?
They turned.
Okay.
So I pulled over and I stopped.
To see who was coming.
Like if they kill me,
No, I wanted them to pass. But they didn't. They then stopped behind me.
Okay.
I did tell you this story.
No, you did. You shared it in the podcast. Your heart.
I texted. I was seeing Oscar. I texted Oscar. I said, my man, I'm going back to Lusaka. I turned my car around to make a U-turn.
Okay.
And I stared into the vehicle to see who was driving it. I couldn't see anything. That's how dark the tint was. As I'm driving out of Lusaka, out of Kitwe, as I'm approaching the checkpoint, I get a text from somebody that I know, and they say, "Oh, that's a nice car you're driving."
Okay.
I said, "How do you know what car I'm driving?" He says, "Are you wearing such and such a hat?"
Yeah.
I said, "Yes." Then she says to me, "My friend has the biggest crush on you, and she saw you in Mozambique, and she was driving behind you to get your phone number."
Is that a true story?
I swear to God. I swear.
Do you think that's a true story?
I said it right.
He told me when he came
In
down from
fact,
kitchen. He called me immediately.
You know the person because she's in the group.
Yeah. I remember you called me and said, this chick couldn't just tell me and get my number. She was following me everywhere.
But can I say something?
I've had diarrhea.
Can I say something very quick, please? So, there are people that have asked me, Christopher, when you're going to watch football, you don't move with
Security.
Security. When you're watching football at Edwin Imboila Stadium in Lusaka, you're at Sunset. You're wherever you're going into the constituency. You are just alone. Other politicians are always moving with people in groups. The ministers, whatnot.
Right.
So I keep telling people, well, I have not offended anyone. I don't know if I have said bad things about people. I don't know if I've said something bad about a specific person. So maybe I feel like I don't need protection. So
I think in your case, the city protects
So
you.
when you come in Kitwe, free advice to you. Just pick a phone and say, "Oh, Chris, I'm in Kitwe." Yeah, just in case.
You can put your phone number in my Techno Phantom.
Have you seen that picture there?
Which picture?
The one where this guy is standing right now. That picture there
The
Godfather.
of Kitwe.
Do you have a Techno?
A Techno.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Beautiful phone.
No, I have a Samsung.
Okay.
Yeah,
You should consider that phone.
this is a Techno,
Yeah, it's
heavy nice.
No, open it.
Kwisula Kwisula.
Just don't break it.
Oh, kale isuka. This is my number.
Okay, cool.
Yes, 619075.
Okay, cool. Listen, speaking of people that you might have offended or not, you raise campaign funds when you're running for office.
Yeah.
You have all kinds of people that pour money into your campaign.
Yeah.
Almost always these people have expectations.
Yeah.
They will come knocking. I gave you money. I want this contract. How do you handle that?
Well, first of all, Kalenga's attended one of my fundraisers. These are very basic campaign fundraisers, nothing complicated. We're not asking for millions of dollars. We're not asking for funds that are tied to something else. And I keep telling young men and women, these young men who want to contest next year's elections. I keep telling them,
Stop.
ask for money.
Stop, Chris.
Yeah.
You've heard of the Guptas.
Yes, I've read of the group.
They did not attend any fundraiser. They gave Zuma money in private.
Yeah.
So the people that have got nefarious...
Well, I've never gotten conditional money.
No, we don't know that.
No, I'm telling you.
So, no, I hear you. So,
Yeah.
so there's never been a scenario where somebody has given you money and come knocking.
Never scenario. Yeah.
Okay.
People just, Chris, we've believed in your growth. We've seen you grow in leadership. I'll help you pay for that billboard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
And
I said,
can you tell us who some of your donors have been? Are you cool to do that?
Well, it's just friends who may not want to be
known?
No.
Okay.
We're in a very complicated environment.
Okay. They're not into shady things.
No, nothing shady.
yeah, but I mean, the times I was on radio, I followed politics in Quito quite closely.
Yeah.
And I knew what your campaigns were like.
Yeah.
And I saw Binwo's campaigns as well.
Yeah.
A lot of times, remember even on Binwo's episode, he said people would just show up from nowhere. People just want to help you because they like you. You know what I mean? That's been the case with him as well. Like, people just show up randomly.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like I said in my preamble in this episode, this is one of Quito's most liked sons of the soil.
Look, my first impression of him, I drove in, he was sitting in the car, and I went to say hi to him, and I was shocked that he knew who I was.
Mm.
I don't know how you know who I was, but yeah, it's a very...
Well, I have a
Love
very
that.
good memory.
Wait, have we met?
No, we don't have to meet. So a good memory allows you to pick faces attach names, attach scenarios, and be able to remember who person A, person B is. You bump into the shopping mall, someone greets you, then you say, are you the person who attended that event? And someone says, oh, Chris, how did you remember? I said, well, I'm able to remember because my memory is quite good.
I heard Mugabe was like that.
Oh, I don't know.
I've heard stories that there'll be a delegation that comes from a different country.
Yeah.
And he has his aide introduce every single person.
Okay.
He would make reference to the history he has with that person. If he doesn't have a history, he would know a person connected to them. Like, I've never met you, I'm meeting you for the first time, but I know who your former boss was. Your former boss was the ambassador to Nshani.
Hey.
His name was this, and we went for coffee. And if he's met you, you make reference to where you met, how you met.
Michael Sata was as
I was about to mention.
Or was
Michael Sata, remember your mom, bruh. He
Michael
would talk about your mom, your dad, this, that. He was so good.
Like the first time I met Michael Sata at Farmer's House, Cairo Road.
Cairo Road, yeah.
He tells me there are only two things, and he spoke, of course, in the local language, two things you have to be good at as a politician. Either you remember someone's face or you remember their name. In this work you do, because you want to remember people. You want to remember who helped you do ABCD. When you're looking for someone to organize the community so that you can do the cleaning exercise, remember we had a very aggressive cleaning exercise.
First Saturday of the month.
I can quite remember so many people who participated in those cleaning exercises. I know the banks that came in and said, we want to help you clean the city because you've shown the drive. You know, there are all those things. So I always try to remember people. So I was able to remember that this must be the guy who does the podcast.
You mentioned a lot of the trouble that I do as well.
Pardon? Oh, yeah.
Which
I was actually thought you out of the country.
No.
Yeah, because you said you're going to announce a big, I don't know if it's a sponsorship or what, award or something. He said when he was receiving the award.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's coming. People kind of already have an inclination, and it's funny because Gob asked me about it.
Okay. Something big?
Biggest relative.
Okay.
How
Can you help me with the campaigns for next year?
Campaigns for
when I decide to stand for.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, I want to
no
find
conditions attached. I hope.
No.
Okay, cool.
How is MTN helping you in your constituency? Is it constituency?
Constituency.
Yeah.
No, I don't have any program running with MTN in the constituency.
If they could, how could they come in?
Well, first of all, we have a lot of young people that I think are having access to education. They can go in class, they can sit in class. But you see, I would want these, I may call them service providers, to provide a platform for mentorship for young people, where they simply bring in people who can speak to young people, facilitate lunch, stationary expenses, and then we bring them into the constituency. We bring in people that are strong in media, people that are strong in entertainment, people that are strong in banking, people that are strong in entrepreneurship. They are brought into Kitwe. They speak to the young people.
A masterclass.
Yeah. So this is what I've been doing at an individual level. I've done mentorship programs for secondary school pupils in my constituency the last 2-3 years. And the challenge has been keeping up with the expenses, because you have to call young people, provide transport from all the secondary schools. So if there could be, MTN would be willing to handle that aspect, I mean, it's something that will energize the young boys and girls to work hard. Some of them that we've mentored are now in uni. Yeah, they want to be doctors. They say, Chris, Honorable Kangombe, you gave us an opportunity to be inspired. You brought in a doctor, you brought in this person. I mean, we want to thank you for the platform you gave us. So it's something that I think corporates can look at. It's not just a matter of building a 1x3 classroom block. If the class is already available, because we're building some of the classroom facilities using Constituency Development Fund, we're putting in desks. What is missing is now to get those young boys and girls ready for life after high school. So someone has to speak to them. I mean, I can't be speaking to them every year. They'll get bored. They'll say, Chris comes with the same message. Yeah, something like that.
Chris, is there anything that
wrap up?
Anything that you thought we were going to talk about that we haven't touched on?
Well, you haven't asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up.
What did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to be a football player.
Why didn't you go after that dream?
Well,
Because you were too argumentative.
no. I grew up in Ndeke village. So Ndeke village and Ndeke is a few kilometers to Arthur Davis Stadium. So the stars we used to see, you're growing up, the stars we used to see were football players. When you see Tenant Chilumba passing in Ndeke village, he's now coach for, is it Zesco Mfula Wanderers? When you look at Tenant Chilumba passing, you're like, I wish I could be a football player. Because those are the guys who used to be stars. Over the weekend, you are cheering them. So I wanted to be a football player. But you see, mom was a teacher by profession. So she said, Bola. School. Concentrate on school. And of course, there were a couple of boys that had more talent than some of us. But primarily, I think that school took over everything, public speaking, debate, politics. But clearly, I really wanted to be a football player.
Is there any success story, like a football success story from your neighborhood?
No.
Well, Ignatius Ripa played for the national team. He was.
I don't know who that is.
He played under Hevrena. He was striker for the national team under Hevrena. Played Chan. Played Africa Cup. Played for under 20, under 17 with Renford Calabar. So
I was hoping you'd say you went
now
on to play in the Premier League. And...
Well, I measure success even at that level because I saw how he came out of our neighborhood and made it.
Right.
I would watch him on TV.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. A win is a win.
A win is a win.
A win is a win.
Yeah.
Chris, thanks a lot for coming.
I'm grateful, guys. Congratulations. The podcast is still winning awards.
Yeah.
You guys have been consistent.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I feel that is the winning formula, if I can call it that.
Yeah.
Is consistency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, thanks for inviting me.
No, hey, we need to do this again.
And
for
your
quite a bit.
presidential aspirations, wishing you all the best.
December.
I think you'd make a really good president, judging by your
I would make a good
track
president.
record.
Yeah, I would make a good president.
What would make you a good president?
Well, I would assemble the right team. I already have a team behind me that helps me. If I want to take something to parliament, whether it's healthcare, I always pick a phone call, ask a few medical doctors, old friends, ask them, guys, what's happening? How do we resolve this problem? So I'm one person who reaches out to a lot of people and I get the right ideas on the table.
In the current administration, who do you think the weakest link is?
In the current government, the weakest link. I can't point to any individual.
So they're all good.
Because I'll have to go sector by sector.
So they're all good.
And I'm quite elaborate.
So they're all good.
No, it's just the time is too limited. I can break it down for you.
But you can see who's messing up.
Well, so I have a philosophy. My political.
Political.
Let me tell you my style of politics. So my style of politics, I resist the temptation when a journalist calls me and says, "Person A said this. What is your comment?" Okay, so it becomes, "Oh, Christopher also said this." So then we miss the conversation on the key issue.
And now it's a back and forth.
So you've asked me who's not doing well. So I'm resisting the temptation of starting to mention.
But you know who?
There are a couple of them that are not doing the correct
Are the
thing.
ministers or the APs?
Well, I can't speak about MPs because they are in constituencies. But I can speak about individuals who maybe have not applied, because a minister really says, technocrats, let's quickly meet. How do we resolve this problem? So there are those that are slow at resolving problems, and there are those that are fast.
I think I know.
So I may not go into names, because then tomorrow, Christopher said this, so what is your reaction? Then it becomes a chochise.
back and forth kind of match.
Yeah. But I'd rather deal with the key issue. If it's mining, if it's healthcare, if it's agriculture, if it's energy, ask me, then I'll tell you what I think needs to be done.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, gents and ladies, are we airing this on Tuesday, or are we going to air this on this week?
No, Tuesday next week.
All right.
This week is giveaway week.
Yeah.
Anyway, it won't matter next week.
We're very close to 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. Can we click? In fact, so one of the criteria that we're going to give money or anything away is you need to have subscribed. Unless you haven't done that, you ain't getting nothing. So yeah, man. Until next week. Cool. Bye-bye.